I think look, I like that fight. I'd like to try to make that fight happen. I think there's a natural order to get to that fight, though. I mean, I'd like to see Cris Cyborg fight this summer, and there's somebody else other than Dakota. So I'm going to work to try to make that fight, and maybe that's at the same time that Dakota is fighting these other people that I mentioned. And if Dakota wins and becomes champion, I think, fight with Cris Cyborg would be incredibly exciting. We'll see what happens, but I'd like to try to make that fight.
I can go weight cut, meeting in the middle with Dakota. She's beating everybody her division.
If Cyborg could make 135 and they give me a bit of time, she had a bit more time, she's saying it's a last fight. Like, I haven't got time to put that much weight on. I'm not a big 125er. I don't have a tough weight cut at all. So for me, I'd have to strength up big, but I would have done it if she was even close to 135 and, you pay me some big money and I'll get in. But it just didn't make any sense at all. And Leah McCourt's been asking for it for so long. Why are you shouting me out? Leah wants that fight. Give it to her.
PFL CEO John Martin just dropped a major statement about Dakota Ditcheva versus Cris Cyborg, and the CEO did not hold back. He said, and I quote, "I'd like to try to make that fight happen."
I like that fight. I think that's the next logical fight. We haven't made that yet. We haven't announced it yet, but I think if you look at...
And then he went even further than that. We are breaking it all down today. The injury update, the timeline, the contract talk, and a tweet from Dakota herself that has the MMA world going crazy right now. Let's get into it. So here's where we are. Dakota Ditcheva came into 2026 as arguably the biggest star on the PFL roster outside of Usman Nurmagomedov. She was booked. She was ready. She was supposed to fight Denise Kielholtz at PFL Dubai, the promotion's very first event of the new era. And then, a hand injury. Gone. Off the card. That was a massive blow for the PFL's debut event.
Pushing it off and enjoying other things.
And I'm so grateful for everything I've had out of it. But at the same time,
I don't get paid.
I will come back from this.
But here's the good news. John Martin spoke to MMA Fighting and he confirmed that Dakota is healing well. His exact words? "She's healing well. I expect that she'll be fighting this summer. I want to make sure it heals well, but she's healing well."
Yeah, I'd like to see Dakota firmly heal, and then we'll see what happens from there. But I'd like to see Dakota fighting this summer, and we'll see. Maybe we can put together a different fight for Cris Cyborg this summer as well.
So summer 2026, that's the target. That's the return window. And now the biggie question becomes, who does she fight? Now Martin laid out a few options on the table here. Option 1, Denise Kielholtz. Martin said he still likes that fight. Kielholtz stayed on the Dubai card and picked up a decision win. So the momentum is there. Nothing has been officially rebooked yet, but the PFL CEO made it clear that the fight still interests him.
Ooh, man, something tells me it's going to be a good year for MMA next year, 2026. So, February 7th, 2026, we are going to have Dakota Ditcheva versus Denise Kielholtz. Now, I know Dakota's been out for months due to an injury. Denise Kielholtz has been out for 2 years because she just had a baby. But this fight is going to be ugly. It's going to be nasty. Stay tuned.
Option 2, Liz Carmouche. Martin mentioned Carmouche by name and said she has to be part of the title conversation. Liz is a veteran, former UFC title challenger, decorated fighter. That would be a legitimate #1 contender type matchup for Dakota's return.
I still like and think could make sense. There's Liz Carmouche, who definitely has to be in title consideration right now. It's a vacant title in that weight class. And so that's something that deserves consideration.
Option 3, and this is the one everybody wants, Cris Cyborg. Now here's where it gets real interesting. Cast your mind back to December. Cris Cyborg wins the PFL featherweight title at 145 pounds. She walks out of that cage. Martin goes in to put the belt around her. And the first thing out of Cyborg's mouth? "I want to fight Dakota."
Bellator, but if she not be available, I can go make some weight cut, something, meeting in the middle with Dakota. She's beating everybody her division, 135. Or we think about what we're going to do, but I believe it's going to be good.
She already had a plan. She told Martin right there in the cage she would come down to 135. Dakota would go up to 135. They meet in the middle. Now, obviously, there is a size difference here. Dakota fights at 125 pounds. Cyborg is a featherweight. That is a 20-pound gap between their natural weight classes. But Cyborg doesn't care. She has been pushing for this fight publicly, and now the CEO is on record saying he wants it.
Body kick by the challenger, level change, and Cyborg ends up on top. Ground and pound. Hammer fist from the champion. It's over. Cris Cyborg with her 12th first-round knockout finish. Cris Cyborg remains Bellator featherweight champion.
Here is what Martin said word for word. I'd like to try to make that fight happen. I think there's a natural order to get to that fight, though. I'd like to see Cris Cyborg fight this summer. If Dakota wins and becomes champion, I think a fight with Cris Cyborg would be incredibly exciting. We'll see what happens, but I'd like to make that fight.
Yeah, I'd like to see Dakota firmly heal, and then we'll see what happens from there. But I'd like to see Dakota fighting this summer, and we'll see. Maybe we can put together a different fight for Cris Cyborg this summer as well. A vibrant ecosystem when you think about where talent comes from. If you look at the likes of a Dakota or a Paul Hughes, who came out of Cage Warriors, I believe, in Europe, we're always looking for the next new talent. And I think we've now proven with several people that we've broken out as legitimate elite fighters, stars, if you will, that the PFL has that capability to do that. I'd like to continue to ramp up our ability to do that and demonstrate to the world that we can compete with other promotions.
There it is. The CEO of PFL is on record. He wants Dakota versus Cyborg. Now here's where it gets even more interesting. After all of this news broke, Dakota Ditcheva went on Twitter and sent a message that set the MMA world on fire. Her tweet? Simple, direct, Dakota style. At Cris Cyborg, get healthy, get ready. I'll see you in that cage. Hut PFL new era. Short, sharp, and it said everything. The fans went crazy in the replies. People are already calling this the biggest women's MMA fight that can be made right now outside of the UFC. And honestly, they're not wrong. Let's zoom out here for a second because this matters beyond just one fight. The PFL in 2026 is in a massive moment. They just ran their first event of the new era. They've got 16 global events planned this year. They've moved away from the tournament format. They've got a full ranking system now. And John Martin, a guy who spent nearly 30 years at Time Warner, who tried twice to get his company to buy the UFC, this man is locked in on making PFL a legitimate #2 promotion in the world. A fight like Dakota Ditcheva versus Cris Cyborg, that is the kind of fight that crosses over. That is the kind of fight that brings in casual fans. That is the kind of fight that gets people talking about PFL who have never watched PFL in their lives. The CEO knows it. The fighters know it. And now, the world knows it. All right, guys, that is the full breakdown. Dakota Ditcheva targeting a summer 2026 return. PFL CEO on record saying he wants Dakota versus Cyborg. And Dakota herself is already sliding into Cyborg's mentions on Twitter. The pieces are moving. Now I want to hear from you. Do you think Dakota Ditcheva can handle Cris Cyborg at a catch weight of 135 pounds? Or is the size difference just too much? Drop your take in the comments right now. I am reading every single one. If you found this video useful, hit that like button. Subscribe if you are new here. We cover PFL, UFC, and everything in between. I will catch you in the next one.
Y Marcos Rosales anotó 29, 28, 29, 28. La ganadora por decisión dividida. Your winner by split decision, Alexa.
What? Alexa Grasso.
She's not a fighter who's shown any exploitable weaknesses today.
All right, I'm here with your winner, Alexa Grasso. Alexa, you told me your key tonight was just to be confident, to be you. How happy are you with your performance and what I believe?
UFC flyweight champion Alexa Grasso has just sent a surprising message to rising star Dakota Ditcheva, and let me tell you, Dakota's response is fire. This potential fantasy matchup has the entire MMA community buzzing, and we're breaking down everything you need to know. Alexa Grasso, the current UFC flyweight champion and one of the most technical strikers in women's MMA, recently spoke about Dakota Ditcheva in an interview that's now making waves across social media.
Shown any exploitable weaknesses today.
All right, I'm here with your winner, Alexa Grasso. Alexa, you told me your key tonight was just to be confident, to be you. How happy are you with your performance and what I believe was the best fight of the night so far?
And honestly, what she said was not what anyone expected. Listen to what Grasso had to say. Well, I think she has one of the best bodies in MMA, and I really wanted to have one like that. I'm still working on that, but it's amazing, you know, because she's a veteran, and I saw her fights. When I didn't fight in the big time, I was like, wow, those girls are amazing. And now to fight, I'm fighting with her. It's a pleasure, and it's really a blessing for me.
Well, I think she has one of the
best bodies in the MMA, and I really wanted to have one like that. I'm still working on that, but it's amazing, you know, because she's a veteran, and I saw her fights, and I was when I didn't fight in a big time, I was like, whoa, those girls are amazing, and now I'm fighting with her. It's a pleasure, and it's really a blessing to me.
Now, wait a minute. Let's break this down. Alexa Grasso, a UFC champion who just beat Valentina Shevchenko, one of the greatest female fighters of all time, is showing this level of respect to Dakota Ditcheva. That's huge. But here's the thing that's got everyone talking. Is this genuine respect, or is there something else going on here? Some fans are saying Grasso is being humble and classy. Others think she might be underestimating herself or even playing mind games. Dakota Ditcheva is an absolute monster in the PFL, don't get me wrong. She's undefeated, she's devastating in the cage, and she comes from an elite Muay Thai background with a record of 11-0 in MMA. But the fact that a UFC champion is speaking about her this way, that tells you everything about how seriously the top fighters are taking Dakota's rise. Now, if you thought Dakota was going to just accept those compliments and stay quiet, you don't know Dakota Ditcheva. The PFL champion fired back with a statement that shows exactly why she's one of the most confident and dangerous fighters in the sport right now. Here's what she said. People see that when I win this season now and beat someone like Liz Carmouche and Talia Santos. As soon as I've beat them, I think what else can people expect other than greatness for the rest of the year? And you've got to be like that, you know. It's about time that I actually believe in what I can do. But she didn't stop there. Dakota continued. I think people say to me, oh, she's not fought this person, she's not fought that person. Or they say, she's running through all these girls because they're not very good. But if you put these girls against other people, they have close fights. Whereas when you put them with me, I finish them early. So I make it look easy sometimes.
When I win this season now, and you know, say I beat someone like Liz Carmouche and Talia Santos, as soon as I've beat them, I think, what else can people expect other than greatness for the rest of the year, yeah. Right. Yeah, and you've got to be like that, you know, and it's about time that I actually believe in what I can do, you know. I think people say to me, you know, oh, she's not fought this person, she's not fought that person. Well, or they say to me, you know, she's running through all these girls because they're not very good. But if you put these girls against other people, they have close fights. Whereas when you put them with me, I finish them early, so I make it look easy sometimes.
That right there is championship mentality. Dakota's basically saying, I don't care what the critics say, I'm finishing elite fighters and I'm doing it fast. And you know what? The numbers back her up. She's 15-0 with 9 finishes. That's an 82% finish rate. This response shows that Dakota isn't intimidated by anyone, not even a UFC champion. She's focused on her own path, and she genuinely believes she's the best in the world. That's the kind of confidence you need to become a legend in this sport. But wait, there's more. Dakota Ditcheva took to Twitter to make sure her message was crystal clear. She posted, "Respect to Alexa, but when we meet, it's going to be different. I'm built for this. Championship level is where I belong." First, experience. Alexa has fought the absolute best. She's faced killers like Valentina Shevchenko twice, Viviana Araujo, and Carla Esparza. She knows what it takes to perform under the brightest lights in the sport. Second, her boxing is absolutely world-class, clean, technical, efficient. She doesn't waste energy, and she rarely gets hit clean. Her footwork allows her to control range and dictate the pace.
From Guadalajara, Mexico. Would 3 wins be a form of knockout? Would you please welcome Alexa Grasso?
You have the best move when it comes to,
Third, championship composure. She's been in 5 rounds with Valentina Shevchenko. She's survived adversity and found ways to win. That mental toughness is invaluable. First, her Muay Thai is absolutely devastating. With 11-1 record in Muay Thai, including multiple championships, her clinch work, elbows, and knees are on another level. She's one of the most dangerous fighters in close range in all of MMA. Second, her finishing ability. Dakota doesn't just win fights, she ends them. 9 finishes in 11 fights speaks to her killer instinct. When she smells blood, it's over. Third, her physical attributes. Dakota is tall, rangy, and uses her reach incredibly well. She can fight from the outside with kicks, then close the distance and destroy you in the clinch.
Angela Hill.
From Guadalajara, Mexico. With 3 wins via form of knockout, would you please welcome Alexa Grasso?
Here's what makes this matchup so interesting. Dakota is young, hungry, and fighting like she has nothing to lose. Alexa is battle-tested and proven at the highest level. If this fight happens in the early rounds, Dakota's aggression and finishing power could be too much. But if Alexa can survive the early storm and drag Dakota into deep waters, her experience and technical superiority could take over.
The planet right now, fantastic strikers, veterans, future legends of the game here.
For sure. Santos is in big trouble. She's in big trouble. Dakota Ditcheva to the body again for a championship.
Introducing first, out of the blue corner, she stands at 173 centimeters tall, weighing in at 125 pounds, holding a Muay Thai and kickboxing record of 31 wins and 5 losses. Training out of Airtex Training Center, representing Sweden, Smilla the Hurricane Sundell.
The woman who is about to destroy Dakota Ditcheva's undefeated streak just showed the whole world exactly what she's capable of.
Muay Thai to smithereens. From Smilla Sundell in the corner, you've got to return.
Her name is Smilla Sundell. She is 21 years old. She hits like a truck, and the MMA world is not ready. And the MMA community is calling Smilla Sundell Dakota 2.0. Dakota Ditcheva, the baddest woman on the planet, 15 wins, 0 losses, PFL world champion, has a problem. A big problem. And her name is the Hurricane.
Club and a right hand. Oh, another one! Big one! Dakota Ditcheva, right hand and a hand of face! Another knockout for Dakota Ditcheva!
Let's start from the beginning, because a lot of you might be sleeping on this girl, and trust me, that's a mistake. Smilla Sundell was born on November 12, 2004, in Sundbyberg, Sweden. Yes, 2004. She is 21 years old. She started karate at 5 for self-defense. I tried Muay Thai at 10 on vacation in Thailand, and by the time she was 12, her family had moved to Koh Samui, Thailand, and she went all in. At 15, when most kids are worried about school, Smilla stayed behind in Thailand alone to chase her dream. No family, no safety net, just her in the gym. By 16, she was already ranked #1 female featherweight Muay Thai fighter in the world by the WBC Muay Thai. And at just 17 years and 5 months old, she became the youngest person in history to win a world title in Muay Thai by beating Jackie Bunton for the ONE Women's Strawweight Championship. 17 years old, she now has a record of 36 wins, 23 of them by knockout or TKO, 5 losses and 1 draw. This girl is the real deal.
With her signature aggressive style. Ooh, nice body shot. Oh my goodness, it's double time. Sundell didn't move on. Towards the end of the second. And it's over. Smilla Sundell.
Now here's where it gets really interesting for MMA fans. After her time in ONE Championship, where she lost her Muay Thai title due to a weight miss, Smilla Sundell was released from the ONE roster in August 2025 when her weight exceeded the heaviest women's weight class. But did she quit? Did she go home? Absolutely not. In October 2025, amateur MMA promotion Tough and Uff announced that Smilla Sundell had signed with them and would be making her MMA debut. And on January 22, 2026, she stepped into that cage for the first time in MMA and did this. First round. Knees and elbows. TKO. Miranda Barber didn't know what hit her. 4 minutes 54 seconds and it was done. The Hurricane didn't just arrive in MMA, she landed like a bomb. Now let's talk about why people are already calling Smilla Sundell Dakota 2. Think about it. Dakota Ditcheva came from Muay Thai. Elite striking background. Won world titles young. Moved to MMA and started finishing everybody in the first round. Sound familiar? Smilla Sundell, Muay Thai world champion at 17. Youngest ever. Elite striking. Moves to MMA and finishes her opponent in round 1 on debut. The blueprint is identical. But here's what makes Smilla potentially even more dangerous. She is bigger. She's 5'8". Long reach. Heavy hands. 23 knockouts in Muay Thai alone. Dakota is elite, but Smilla is built the exact same way, just 4 years younger and still growing. The MMA world created Dakota Ditcheva, and now, it looks like it just created her replacement. And when word got around about Smilla's MMA debut, Dakota Ditcheva was not silent. She took to X, formerly Twitter, and posted, "Respect to Smilla for making the jump to MMA. The striking is elite, no question. But this is a different world. Come find me when you're ready." Now that is a message. That is a challenge. That is Dakota Ditcheva doing what she always does. Staying unbothered, staying focused, but also letting the whole world know. She sees you, Smilla.
The planet right now. Fantastic strikers, veterans. Future legends of the game here.
For sure.
Santos is in big trouble.
She's in big trouble. Dakota Ditcheva to the body again for a championship.
The fans went crazy in the replies. Some said Dakota is nervous. Others said she's just being respectful. But everyone agreed on one thing. This matchup is inevitable. So let's be honest here. Is Smilla Sundell the biggest threat to Dakota Ditcheva's undefeated run? Right now Dakota is at 15-0. She just handled Sumiko Inaba by unanimous decision. She's the PFL Women's Flyweight Champion. She was Female Fighter of the Year in 2024 across ESPN, MMA Junkie, Combat Press, you name it.
Against defense with body shots.
Combination again, punching her way out of these clinches.
Inaba not able to match speed on the outside.
Crashing in again.
Oh, beautiful knee.
Oh, the clinch is really working for Ditcheva. She gets the turn under the knee, finds its way to the face of Sumiko Inaba, and an elbow from Dakota.
Inaba can't take a lot of those knees.
Nobody has been close to stopping her, but Smilla Sundell is different. She has the style, she has the power, she has a Muay Thai IQ, she has aggression, and most importantly, she has time on her side. While Dakota has to defend her title and keep proving herself at the top, Smilla is just getting started. Every fight she gets sharper, every round she gets more dangerous. And if Smilla keeps finishing people the way she did on debut, it's only a matter of time before these two are in the same building, same cage, same night. And on that night, nobody knows what happens. Smilla Sundell is not a hype train. She is not a highlight reel waiting to happen. She is a problem. A 21-year-old world title-winning first-round finishing problem. And the MMA world just got put on notice. Dakota Ditcheva is the best women's MMA fighter outside the UFC right now. But the hurricane is coming, and she does not slow down. You've been warned.
Ditcheva's on a mission here, my friend. Really is. Very strong.
Yep, a little bit over each other in the clinch there, Vinny, and those look good on the outside as we start them here. Push kick to the face, followed by hands.
Class head there. Good push kick there from Ditcheva, setting up good hands as well.
Georgina van der Linden sent a massive bombshell message to Dakota Ditcheva. She called her out, questioned her hype, and made it clear she wasn't intimidated by the young prospect everyone was talking about. The Dutch challenger believed she had what it took to expose Dakota in her professional debut.
Rond 9 uur, dus ik denk over een stuk of 5 partijen.
Oké, dus hoe voel je?
Goed, sterk, altijd, ja.
Het is niet zomaar gevecht, dit is een...
Wereldtitelgevecht. Yes.
Dat is een bijzonder iets dus.
Ja, voor mij eigenlijk wel. Ja, als ik dit had gewonnen, weet ik toch wel eigenlijk dat ik de beste ben van de wereld op min 57.
But Dakota, she didn't flinch. She didn't trash talk. She simply responded with ice-cold confidence. I'm definitely excited about fighting in Bulgaria. Been waiting a long time to be on this show, so I'm excited to put a show on.
I'm definitely excited about fighting in Bulgaria. Been waiting a long time to be on this show, so I'm excited to put a show on.
Short, simple, deadly, and then came the Twitter post that sent shockwaves through the combat sports world. Dakota took to social media with a message that would haunt Georgina in the days leading up to the fight. The confidence wasn't just talk, it was a promise. February 2016, Bulgaria. 2 fighters, 1 ring, and only one would walk out with their reputation intact. From the second that opening bell rang, it was clear, this wasn't going to be a learning experience for Dakota. This was a demonstration. Dakota Ditcheva took control of the center of the ring with the composure of a seasoned veteran, not a fighter making her debut. The footwork was sharp, the jab was stiff, and Georgina, she was already being kept at bay. Commentator, very aggressive, good hands as well. Georgina looks like a very strong girl too.
Aggressive, Danny.
Very aggressive, good hands as well, but tell you, Georgina looks like a very strong girl too, Vinny.
Good knee that from Ditcheva.
Straight through the centre, yeah.
Ditcheva's on a mission here, my friend. Really is. Very strong.
But here's what separated Dakota from everyone else. She didn't rush. She didn't waste energy trying to make a highlight reel in round 1. Instead, she calculated. Every punch was measured. Every kick was timed to perfection. Commentator, good push kick there from Ditcheva, setting up good hands as well. Georgina tried to respond with forward pressure, that classic Dutch aggression we've come to expect. But Dakota's movement, it was poetry in motion. She disrupted every attempt Georgina made to establish her rhythm. By the end of round 1, the message was sent. This wasn't going to be competitive. This was going to be a clinic.
Class head there. Good push kick there from Ditcheva, setting up good hands as well.
Zet erop, zet erop. Overzetten. En achter hier. Lijn op de.
Well, I think both girls happy to get released there.
Round 2. This is where Dakota began to turn the screws. She started mixing combinations together. Fast 1-2 punches followed by devastating low kicks that began to slow Georgina's movement. The Dutch fighter was tough, no question. She pushed forward, tried to close the distance. But every time she did, Dakota had an answer. Commentator, she's come out with a mission, hasn't she?
Definitely more focused Georgina coming out for this second round, Vinny. She's come out with a mission, hasn't she?
Yeah, she certainly has. She's trying to... He's scoring, just kind of smothering the work of Gina.
The defense was elite. Dakota slipped shots and returned fire instantly. This wasn't just about offense. It was about making Georgina miss and pay for every failed attempt. Then it happened. Just as Georgina started to find some rhythm, started to take the center of the ring. Commentator, knees are really starting to take toll on the Dutch girl just as she was starting to turn the tide. This girl's hurt, my friend.
And all of a sudden, the pattern you're now seeing is Georgina starting to take the centre of this ring.
But the good
and
knees now,
starting
Danny.
to come forward.
These knees are really starting to take toe on the Dutch girl. Just as she was starting to turn the tide, Ditcheva started to bring their knees in, and this girl, Dutch girl's hurt, my friend.
She is, yes, Vinny. Well, fantastic round. That was exactly what we wanted to see from the Dutch girl to come out.
Dakota brought the knees. Brutal, calculated, devastating. By round 3, this had become a test of wills. Dakota continued to control the range, but now she added more aggression, longer combinations, forcing Georgina to fight on the back foot. 16 years old, and she was putting on a masterclass against a seasoned Dutch warrior. Round 4 was where Dakota's conditioning became a weapon. While Georgina showed incredible heart and resilience, the pace was clearly favoring Dakota. The sharp counters kept coming. The angles were perfect. And Georgina, she was starting to fade. Commentator, the young Dutch girl Georgina has blown a bit. She's fighting with her heart now.
Really took fire now, Danny.
The beginning of every round between these two girls has been so explosive, ladies and gentlemen. Unbelievable stuff. They both come out of the trap so fast, and I don't see the pace dying towards the end of the rounds either. These girls are two very well schooled and very fit young girls, believe me. You can tell that from the condition they're in as well.
Yeah, nice. This is where Dakota should score here.
Knees are so aggressive from Dakota, though.
Yeah.
The straight knee comes in, it looks devastating, doesn't it?
This is where she should be scoring. Just turning her back a little bit and not scoring.
Look at the body language. Georgina was fighting on pure warrior spirit at this point, but Dakota, she was just getting started. Commentator, hands down. Look at the body language of the young girl from Holland. She's just fighting with her heart. She's blown.
From herself, though.
This is where she should knee.
Yep.
Score with the knee. It's only a young
hands down. Look at the body language of the young girl from Holland. She's just, like I said, she's just fighting with her heart.
Yeah.
She's blown. Where's this energy come to drag?
The punishment was piling up. Every round Dakota was making a statement. This wasn't about survival. This was about domination. Round 5, the championship round. And Dakota knew exactly what to do. Finish strong. She stayed disciplined, stuck to the game plan, continued landing clean shots while staying defensively responsible. Commentator, she fights so well on the back foot as well, doesn't she?
Really nice body kick from Dakota.
Massive punch as well from Georgina there.
Yeah, hard right hand.
She is a warrior, Vinny.
She is.
And to be fair, she's pushed Dakota back to the ropes for the whole duration of this fight, Vinny. Yeah. But she fights so well on the back.
Georgina pushed forward with urgency. You have to respect the heart. But Dakota never panicked. She closed the round with confidence, leaving zero doubt in the judges' minds. Commentator, this is the first time that I've seen her look the most remotely tired in this whole fight. Even in fatigue, Dakota was still outworking her opponent. The atmosphere inside the arena shifted. Both fighters stood in the center of the ring, breathing heavily after 5 intense rounds of war. The referee called them forward as the judge's decision was about to be read. And then, the referee raised Dakota Ditcheva's hand, and the crowd erupted. She had done exactly what she promised, controlled the fight, stayed composed, outworked her opponent from start to finish. This was a hard-fought victory, earned through discipline, precision, and heart. Remember that bombshell message Georgina sent before the fight? Remember the confidence she had walking into this bout? Dakota answered it with 5 rounds of surgical violence. Georgina van der Linden learned that night what so many others would learn in the years to come. When you step into the ring with Dakota Ditcheva, you're not facing a fighter. You're facing a force of nature. So here's the terrifying part. That surgical precision, that calculated aggression, that absolute refusal to be flustered, that was just the prototype. If Dakota looked this dominant in her very first professional fight, imagine the weapon she has evolved into today. Over 15 wins, 9 knockouts, 0 losses. The Dutch challenger we watched that night in 2016 walked into a buzzsaw, and every fighter since has faced the same fate. Any challenger thinking about calling out Dakota Ditcheva today needs to watch this footage. Because if this is what she looked like at 16 years old in her debut, what chance do you think you have now? The storm isn't coming. The storm is here. Her name is Dakota Ditcheva. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications because we're breaking down every knockout, every evolution, every moment that made her the nightmare she is today. The next chapter is already loaded. Click the video on your screen right now to see the knockout that everyone is still talking about.
Well, there was a potential comeback fight with Ronda.
Yeah.
How serious was that?
It was very serious.
How do you feel about if that was Gina Carano?
I would love that. I've always said that.
He said that if she was going to come back for any fight in MMA, it would be Gina Carano.
You could beat her, right?
I'm back.
The Ronda Rousey one didn't really bother me.
He's not an expert. He's a fan with an audience.
I know what that is. She's a legend. I mean, I got nothing but love and respect for that lady. When she said, like, I wasn't an expert, everyone's entitled to their opinion, you know,
Right,
but
right.
you got to understand why she thinks like that. Because she has a champion mentality. You never fought, you ain't shit. You know, it's real simple.
So the football
You
guys
ain't
always
shit.
do that. You didn't play?
You
You're like,
ain't
yeah, but I.
shit.
Ronda Rousey, the most dominant female MMA fighter in history, is coming back. And Joe Rogan just watched her new training footage, and he is stunned. But here's where it gets even bigger. Rogan didn't just react, he sent a direct warning to the undefeated British sensation Dakota Ditcheva.